They laughed behind my back when I lost everything. They said she never recover. But today, I stand stronger than I've ever been, and if you're going through darkness, I promise there's still light ahead. Hi, I'm Evelyn, and this is my real story. If this touches your heart, consider subscribing for more true, inspiring journeys like mine. Let's begin. I was 30 when everything collapsed. My husband left me with a 5-year-old daughter and debt I didn't even know existed. One day I had a family, a home, a future. The next I had nothing, no savings, no job, just a small apartment and a heart so full of fear it felt like it would burst. I remember sitting on the cold kitchen floor, surrounded by a mountain of red-lettered bills. My daughter was sleeping peacefully in the next room, completely unaware that we had no groceries left for the next day. I cried, not because I was weak, but because I was completely, utterly lost. I didn't know where to start. It felt like drowning in an ocean of despair, with no land in sight. The first few months were a blur of shame and survival. I sold my wedding ring. I sold the furniture. I did whatever I had to do just to keep a roof over our heads. The whispers were the worst. Former friends and family would look at me with pity, or worse, with judgment. They'd say things like, "She should have known," or "She'll never get back on her feet." Every word felt like a stone being thrown at me while I was already down. For a while, I believed them. I felt invisible, like a ghost walking through my own life. There were moments I wanted to just curl up and disappear. But then I would look at my daughter's face. She was my reason, my tiny, powerful reason to fight. So I started fighting. I started working 3 jobs. 3, I was a waitress during the day, rushing between tables, smiling through the exhaustion. Then I'd go to clean offices at night, the silence of the empty buildings echoing my own loneliness. And whenever I had a spare hour, I was babysitting for neighbors. There were days I barely slept, running on cheap coffee and pure adrenaline. There were so many nights I'd make my daughter a full plate, watch her eat, and then pretend I wasn't hungry myself. The guilt was crushing. I missed birthdays. I missed school events I couldn't afford to attend. I felt like I was failing her, even as I was working myself to the bone for her. But every single time I thought about giving up, I would picture her future, and I just couldn't quit. Amidst the chaos, a tiny spark of an idea began to grow. I knew I couldn't do this forever. My body wouldn't last. I needed a skill, a real career. So I turned to the only free resource I had, YouTube. I started learning bookkeeping from free online videos. I'd watch them during my 15-minute lunch breaks, scribbling notes on napkins. I studied on the bus. I practiced on a borrowed old laptop late at night after my daughter was asleep. I started applying for entry-level office jobs. The rejections were brutal, dozens of them. Each no felt like another confirmation of what everyone else had said. I cried. I got angry. But then I'd take a deep breath and try again, and again, and again. Finally, at 45 years old, After years of trying, I got hired as an office assistant. It felt like winning the lottery. Stable hours, a decent salary, health insurance. For the first time in over a decade, I could actually breathe. But that wasn't the end of my journey. It was a new beginning. I wasn't just content with surviving anymore. I wanted to grow. I wanted to build something real. So, I enrolled in night classes for accounting, juggling a full-time job, being a single mom, and studying was incredibly hard. But this time, the struggle felt different. It was a struggle of my own choosing, one that was building me up instead of tearing me down. 3 years later, at the age of 48, I became a certified accountant. I'll never forget the day I printed my certificate. I held it in my hands, the paper feeling heavy with all the sacrifice and late nights it represented. I looked at it, and I whispered to my daughter, who was a teenager by then, "We made it, baby girl, today. I'm 50. I own my own small accounting firm. My daughter, she's in college, studying to be a teacher, and she's doing it completely debt-free. I go to sleep every night feeling a sense of peace I never thought possible. I'm not proud because I became rich or successful in the world's eyes. I'm proud because I didn't quit when life begged me to. I'm proud because I turned my deepest pain into my greatest strength. If you're listening right now and you feel like you're at rock bottom, wondering if you'll ever get through this, please hear me. You will. It'll be slow. It will hurt. But one day you'll wake up and realize you made it. If my story gave you even a tiny spark of hope, please hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who might need to hear this today. Always remember, rock bottom isn't the end. Sometimes it's the solid foundation you build your new life on. Thank you so much for listening.